David Bay here for MuscularDevelopment.com, wrapping things up from the 2016 IFBB Golden State, and I'm here with your champion, Justin Compton. Justin, first off, congratulations on a very solid win. Since winning your first pro show at the Orlando Europa in 2014, there's been so much talk of Justin needing to get back to top conditioning. You brought that here in Sacramento. What's been the difference between now and the last couple of Arnolds?
I don't really think of my conditioning being off. The only time this year in 2016, it was a little bit off in Columbus. It wasn't 100%. But, you know, the biggest thing was just my carb up. You know, I just simply ate less, you know, and you know, let my stomach control better, everything, and it allowed me to be harder overall as well. And I showed up about 10 pounds heavier at the show as well, you know, so
you were 10 pounds over your Columbus weight here in Sacramento?
Yes, correct.
So, I mean, you look considerably leaner. Yeah. So, you know, obviously bigger and leaner, that's definitely a win in bodybuilding.
Yeah, I just went back to the drawing boards right after Columbus. I didn't take any time off the gym. I didn't take any time off the diet. I just basically reverse dieted and then dieted back down into this show. You know, I listened to my body every day. You know, I looked at the scale, looked at the mirror, and then decided what I needed to do. So, you know, the training was also instinctual as well. So certain days I may have done, if I was tired, I may have done 8-10 sets that day, and I may have done 40, depending on how I felt, and I was just kind of listening to my body, what it needed.
Yeah, now, obviously you've been qualified for the Olympia the last 2 years, 2014 and 2015. Could have gone in on points, but I know you wanted to come out and get a win. How important was it to get a win here in Sacramento, qualify for the Olympia? You know, obviously you're going to the Arnold, but we know you wanted to get a win and not just get in on points.
Yeah, I wanted to go into the Olympia on definite win. Was it important to me? I probably would have done the show either way. But I wanted to secure my spot. I wanted to make sure I had it because I know that there's a few guys that was trailing me in the points, and I didn't want to get bumped out at the last second.
All right, now a big week ahead of you coming up. We have the Arnold Classic Asia, the first ever Arnold Classic Asia, coming up next Saturday in Hong Kong. Obviously, a tough trip. You got about a 16-hour flight, I believe, you know, from here in California over to Hong Kong, 14-foot along. What's the prep going to be like? You know, we talk about international flying. You're not a rookie to that, as you've been to Australia a couple times, but you got a game plan laid out for Asia next week?
Yeah, I'm always ahead of schedule on that. So pretty much, I kind of know what I need to do. So tonight, rather than going while everybody else is going out eating junk food and partying and living it up, I'm going to go back to my room, probably have some fish and potatoes, get right back on plan tomorrow morning, you know, get back on cardio, get back on the diet, and you know, I don't really restrict water. I just keep everything the same on the plane, and then when I land, you know, I'd make adjustments as needed depending on how my body responded to the flight.
All right, now we're 5 weeks out from the Olympia today. Going to be 4 weeks next week. Goals for this year's Olympia. Now, I know when we've talked in the past, you put a lot of pressure on yourself as far as what your expectations were for your first time on an Olympia stage. Sitting here in 2016, the Olympia is 5 weeks away. You just walked off with a win. You know, what are your goals for the Olympia this year?
This year, my goal was just to do the Olympia. So, you know, I'm not saying I wanted to do it just to say that I made it there. You know, at the beginning of the year, well, you know, I told myself, you know, this is the year that you're going to do the Olympia. So that being said, I'm not going to predict where I think I'm going to fall or who I think I'm going to beat or not beat, but I do know that I'm planning to bring my best, and hopefully it's enough to hang with the best in the world.
All right, well, we're going to find out in just 5 short weeks. Justin's got to stop in Asia. First off, guys, make sure you check back next weekend. We're not going to have crews on hand in Hong Kong, but we'll be bringing the best coverage that we can to make sure you guys know what's going on following Justin and the rest of the guys over there in Hong Kong at the inaugural Arnold Classic Asia. But that's going to do it for us for tonight. One more time, congratulations, Justin, for myself and everybody at MuscularDevelopment.com, and we are out from the 2016 IFBB Golden State.